Will our protagonist embark on a thrilling journey to save the bees, or will they just spend 2 hours getting chased by angry swarms? And most importantly, will there be enough honey to sweeten this predictable pot of mediocrity? Today, it's all about the Beekeeper 2. Apparently, one movie about bees just wasn't enough. The recent action hit The Beekeeper, starring Jason Statham, has generated significant buzz around the possibility of a sequel. While not yet confirmed, promising signs and pointing to The Beekeeper 2 becoming a reality. The first film left intriguing open doors in its story and mythology ripe for exploration. With director David Ayer and lead actor Jason Statham on board for more, the pieces seem to be falling into place. Why do popular action movies often spawn multiple sequels? Action franchises allow filmmakers to build out a compelling fictional universe over multiple installments. Sequels give fans more of the characters and worlds they love, while studios capitalize on successful formulas. Ongoing stories and escalating stakes also lend well to action genres. Iconic series like Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, and The Bourne Identity released several popular sequels. To assess the sequel potential, let's recap what made the first Beekeeper film so successful. What elements made The Beekeeper stand out in the action genre? The Beekeeper distilled the action genre down to its most crowd-pleasing ingredients. Jason Statham, gruff charisma, turned the vigilante anti-hero premise into a star vehicle. Clever plotting provided just enough story without bogging down the pacing. Expertly choreographed fight scenes showcased Statham's physicality. How did The Beekeeper subvert typical expectations of a Statham action vehicle? Surprisingly, The Beekeeper succeeded without relying on many of Statham's common action movie tropes. There were no over-the-top car chases or elaborate special effects sequences. Statham's character had nuances beyond just a robotic tough guy. Low-key humor balanced out the violence. In the weeks since January 2024 release, The Beekeeper has shown remarkable box office endurance. This financial success makes a sequel all but guaranteed. What specific box office milestones has The Beekeeper achieved? The Beekeeper has remained in the domestic box office top 5 for a month straight, amassing over $180 million total. It dominated the competitive Martin Luther King Jr. holiday weekend. Strong week-to-week holds showcase excellent audience reception. These metrics exceed the average performance for a solo action vehicle. How has The Beekeeper performed internationally? Overseas, The Beekeeper has made nearly $250 million and counting. It's held the #1 spot in multiple foreign markets like the UK, Australia, and France. Statham's international fame helps fuel interest worldwide in his projects. The scam call storyline also resonates universally across many countries affected by the criminal epidemic. Any Beekeeper sequel would need involvement from director David Ayer to maintain the original creative vision. Luckily, Ayer has expressed enthusiasm about revisiting this world. Why was hiring David Ayer instrumental to The Beekeeper's success? Ayer's extensive resume writing hit action flicks gives him keen instincts for the genre. His personal passion for the vigilante justice premise comes through in this nuanced character development. Ayer's affinity for gritty, street-level realism grounded the elaborate criminal schemes. He focused on eliciting a knockout performance from Jason Statham. What has Ayer said about wanting to make The Beekeeper 2? In interviews, Ayer highlighted the vast potential to further explore the Beekeeper organization and mythology. He was clearly captivated by the unique story concept and possibilities for expansion. Ayer said there was so much room to dive deeper in a sequel. He also described being excited to potentially learn more about the mysterious group. Part of the fun awaited The Beekeeper 2 is hypnotizing what directions the plot could take next. The ending left opening a variety of logical sequel paths. Could The Beekeeper 2 explore the past rather than the future? One option would be doing a prequel that shows Clay's origins with the Beekeepers. Little is revealed about why Clay initially joined them or what missions he understood. Flashback scenes could provide backstory on this breaking point decision to leave for good. What if The Beekeeper 2 picks up right after the first film ends? Having the sequel continue Clay's story as a former beekeeper on the run could make the most sense. Now that Clay has demolished the scam center, the Beekeepers may seek vengeance for his betrayal. This could force Clay back into the confrontation with the group he tried escaping. More layers of the organization could get revealed in the process. However, this path mirrors John Wick's framework fairly closely. Could the sequel expand the scope beyond just the Beekeeper? Rather than retaining a narrow focus, the sequel has the opportunity to peel back the curtain more broadly on the world of scamming. New scam operations could emerge beyond just the original call center. Clay may use his infiltration skills against shady telemarketers, phishing operations, lottery schemes, and more. Open up the scope provides this creative freedom. However, diluting the Beekeeper's specific mythology may disappoint fans. Could the sequel delve deeper into Clay's personality and motivations? The first film offers only scattered glimpses into what drives Clay beyond just revenge. His time with the Beekeepers likely left deep psychological scars that could be explored in more depth. Personal relationships outside his criminal life are also undefined. Opening up Clay's perspective beyond being a hardened vigilante would offer narrative's richness while expanding Statham's acting range even further. However, some may argue retaining Clay's mysterious aura is preferable. What if the sequel introduces a wider circle of supporting characters? Thus far, Clay operates as a lone wolf without meaningful connections. Introducing new allies with their own motivations for fighting scammers could inject fresh dynamics. A rival vigilante chasing the same targets could make for either an ally or an enemy. Even new romantic storyline would add complexity, although it risks stalling Clay's sharp edge. Ultimately, expanding the cast in thoughtful ways allows room for rising co-stars to complement Statham. Could Clay acquire new skill sets or tools to vary the action? To keep stunt sequences feeling fresh in a sequel, Clay could add new combat techniques or technology. Imagine Clay armed with Beekeeper-themed gadgets and weapons, or he could adopt a snake venom motive to symbolize his lethal precision. Leaner hand-to-hand combat styles like Krav Maga could replace the brute boxing. Clay evolving his physical prowess avoids repetitive fight choreography. However, radical reinvention risks diluting what fans loved about the original. Which rising action stars could play a friend or foe to Statham's character? A perfect candidate would be Hannah John Kamen, who has shined in blockbusters like Ant-Man and the Wasp and Red Sonja. She has proven skills with action choreography and wisecracking repertoire that would mesh well with Statham's style. Casting John Kamen could also add some diversity and female representation to the predominantly male Beekeeper world. Other ideas is Dave Bautista and Daniel Wu as close combat specialist on Clay's tail. What veteran actor could portray the older Beekeeper leader? It'd be ideal to cast an iconic actor to portray the enigmatic Beekeeper founder who Clay formerly served. Someone like Michael Caine or Donald Sutherland could lead immense gravitas and charisma to the pivotal new role. Seeing Statham and Caine or Sutherland facing off on opposite sides of a moral divide would elevate the stakes tremendously. Could any roles be recast to freshen things up? While risky, passing some roles to new actors could inject fresh energy. The first film's secondary character were functional but forgettable. Recasting Clay's mentor Hawkins with someone like Delroy Lindo would add more presence and backstory. However, recasting generally backfires by undermining audiences' investment. New characters are likely safer than swapping existing ones. Might any surprise cameos appear? The Beekeeper featured amusing cameos from stars like Felicia Richard and Minnie Driver. A sequel could up the ante on cameos to add humor and buzz. Imagine Dwayne Johnson as an outrageous scam victim or Helen Mirren as an elderly woman who secretly aids Clay is highly amusing. However, excessive cameos could feel too gimmicky. Would the sequel likely follow a 2 to 3 year gap after the original? More action franchises space out installments every 2 to 3 years. This gives adequate time for script development, filming, and post-production. If you got a chuckle out of the sarcastic take on this buzzing sequel, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more hilariously honest movie breakdowns. Drop your thoughts on the Hive disaster in the comment below. Until next time, remember, stay skeptical, stay subscribed, and may your movie nights be entertaining.